Hello guys, how long does it take for you to lower your blood sugar as a type 2 diabetic? Let's get into it. Why am I qualified to talk about this? Well, my name is John Collett, and in March 2018 I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and within 6 months I managed to reverse my condition or put it into remission naturally, and I want to help you do the same. So how long does it take to lower your blood sugar naturally as a type 2 diabetic? Well, before I can answer that question, I need to explain to you how your body used to work and how it works now. How your body used to work is when you eat food, that food gets turned into glucose that goes through your bloodstream. You've then got millions of cells in your body that want to absorb that glucose for energy, but they can't do it by themselves. So what happens is your pancreas produces a hormone called insulin, and when that attaches to the blood cells, it allows that energy to be absorbed. So imagine the insulin like a key to a door, and when you unlock it, the cells come in. When the cells are full of energy, then the excess energy gets stored as glycogen in your muscles and in your liver, and then it gets stored as fat in your body. As a type 2 diabetic, what happens is you eat the food, it gets turned into glucose in your bloodstream, your pancreas produces the insulin, but when the insulin goes to the cells to tell them to absorb the food, it ignores it, and this is known as insulin resistance. So as a result, what happens is you've got a load of blood now going through your blood cells with high amount of glucose attached to it, okay? And that is why when you take a blood reading with your glucose meter, your sugars are high, all right? So how long does it take for those to come down? Well, first of all, you've got to understand they're only going to come down if you change the foods you eat. And that is eating real food. If you eat real food, if it grows out of the ground, swims in the sea, or walks around this green earth, then that is the type of food that you should be eating. If you carry on eating processed food, high in processed sugar, saturated fat and salt, the blood sugars are not going to come down. But let's just say you've started to exercise and you've started to eat the right foods. How quickly can you expect that to come down? Well, the first thing you have to understand that glucose is going to stay in your blood, those cells covered in that glucose is going to stay in your bloodstream for 3 to 5 months. And the reason it's going to take 3 to 5 months is because that is how long the cells take to die off. So as those cells are being dying off and new cells are being produced without all that glucose, what you'll see is your blood glucose coming down steadily. Now you'll probably find in the first week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, your blood sugar will come down quite dramatically, but it won't be consistent and it won't be persistent. To achieve that, it needs to take 3 to 5 months. Now to prove to you, to give you an example, this experiment that you can go away and go and do a finger prick test of your blood sugar. Doesn't matter when, take a note of it. Then do another one 5 minutes later, and then do another one 5 minutes after that. And what you'll notice is you'll get massively different results, okay, from that reading. And that is because depending on when you do the finger prick test, depending on when you've eaten, when you've last consumed food, will depend on what that figure comes out. This is why we also have, when we do the finger prick test, it tests it in mmol or mgdl, depending on what part of the world you live in. But that is what your blood sugar is at that moment in time. To get a more accurate reading of your blood sugar, you need to do what we call an A1C test, and this is something you can buy it and get it in the house, but it's quite an expensive thing to do. Most of the time it happens when you go to see your doctor when you have your regular checkups with your diabetes nurse, and they'll do a HbA1c test and that'll give you a longer period. Now, the one thing I'll say, I want to do this video because I find it very amusing, very frustrating and amusing that there's a lot of people offering type 2 diabetes programs to help you reverse your type 2 diabetes, and they claim that they've helped people come off medication within 2 to 4 weeks, which is just, you know, it's just a ridiculous statement. What they mean is their client's blood sugar came down very, very quickly, but they haven't reversed their type 2 diabetes within 2 to 3 weeks. That's physically impossible. Biology doesn't allow it to happen. So be very wary, I think, of people making claims that they can do that. But if you want to reverse your type 2 diabetes, then we do have a program. And if you want to find out more about that program, then please go to the description below. Click on this link that looks like this, okay? And I'll send you a webinar with the 5 steps that our clients take to reduce their insulin resistance. And hopefully you can book a call with me and we'll talk later. I'm going to stick a video here of foods that you can take to lower your blood sugar naturally without medication. You're not a number, you're a rhino. Now charge.